Hey guys, Joe here, and today I want to do a video, and technically I've already filmed it like 9 times, but I'm never happy, so I'm going to redo it because this is a vloggy style kind of video, and I've done these before and I stopped doing them when my health started getting worse, but I think I'm going to bring them back. So today's video is about what scared the hell out of me about 6 weeks ago, and one of the things that seems to be a progression of my disability. And for those that don't know, I am disabled. uh, I became disabled in April of 2017 officially, but obviously the problems had been happening long before then. I just never put in the effort to get the help I needed. But 700 pages of documents later, they finally said, okay, yeah, he's probably screwed up. So I'm going to tell you the story, and then in a following video we'll talk about physical and mental calamities that I've endured. But for those of you that don't know, the biggest thing I deal with is chronic pain and chronic fatigue syndrome. And it's not something that's easy to explain. It's even harder to diagnose because basically to get to the diagnosis, it's just a bunch of symptoms that are happening concurrently, congruently, over time, that is, trackable and cyclical, and eventually a doctor will say, okay, it's probably chronic fatigue. The biggest component I suffer from, though, is massive pain and the fact that my body I run out of energy. So about 6 weeks ago was one of my worst episodes because I have an issue, again, future video, where my brain won't let me let something go. Will not do it. I sit there and it's like good devil, bad devil, but I have bad devil. I have bad devil and worse devil. And this one says, hey man, you should probably do something. And this one goes, he's right, you really should do something. And this one's like, yeah, I know. And this one's like, cool. And then they high five each other in slow motion. So I had gone video game hunting and picked up some stuff, a lot of stuff actually, because I was trying to make some extra money, and I needed to take it to my friend down south to sell to him, because I sell modern stuff to one guy and I usually just trade it in because he gives me really good trade value, and then I take retro stuff, and I always go on discount days so I get more, and then I take that stuff to another friend who has a retro store, and they're so far apart they don't work with each other, so I'm kind of like the middleman, and I sell that stuff to him so that he can make his money and keep his business open. And that's how we all make money, and we're all friends, and so we give each other deals all the time. But they're so far apart, they're literally 140 miles apart from each other when you do the mileage math. But I'm willing to do it because I like the thrill of the chase, the hunt, the deals, and I like visiting my friends. So I went ahead and went over to my father's place. We watched some TV, talked for a couple hours, and I really started getting tired. I mean, bonkers tired. I was like drifting, where you can't even hold on to the conversation. So I said, I really got to go. I really need to sleep. I'm so tired. I'm just completely wrecked because I'd done 2 really long drives, and I'd been up and I'd been hunting for that whole week. And I left, but on the way home I got a text from my buddy who works locally, and I went over and talked to him for a little bit, and we hung out for a few minutes, and I'm like, dude, I gotta go. I'm passing out standing up. I'm falling asleep standing up. I have to go home and get some sleep. He's like, okay, dude, I'll talk to you later. I was like, yeah, dude. So I left, but of course, bad and worse over here telling me to go down to my buddy's place because it was Saturday, and my retro store buddy is closed on Sundays and Mondays, so if I don't see him on Saturday, I can't talk to him till Tuesday. So, and I don't like 3-day planning. It's not in my style. So I drive all the way down there, and I stop on the way down there because I'm feeling really weird, and I grabbed some French fries. I love French fries. French fries are, really good. It's like some of the only dirt food I eat. And I eat those and I start feeling slightly better. I think it's just because my body has something to do during the trip. So I drive down to my friend's place, do the deal, sitting there, we're talking for a few minutes. I'm like, God, I gotta go, because I gotta get up to my buddy's place, and I don't even know if I'm gonna make it, because I may go home. Yeah, right. But I may go home and sleep for a while first. But of course, me being me, I just get in my car and drive straight up there. And I get to his place, and I am just like, I'm like a battery at 12%. I'm like, you know, I have the warning screen, plug me in or else I'm gonna die. And I do the deal with my friend up there, and I was so out of it, I think I actually lost money that time. And I just get in my car and I'm driving home. And on the way home, I experienced something that I kind of felt a few times, but it really hit me this time. And that is, I literally started passing out while being 100% conscious of it. Now, for those of you that have ever passed out before or know the feeling of passing out, this is not the same. What I was basically a flashlight with dying batteries. So in this analogy, if your flashlight has dying batteries, it's going to continue to work as well as it can for as long as it can until it eventually just shuts down. And that's literally what I was feeling. I was watching as my peripheral vision was shrinking and getting darker, and my eyes were getting heavier, and this one, which is lazy anyways, thanks Grandpa, by the way, was just kind of bouncing around and rolling, and I couldn't focus it, and I literally felt myself just like starting to shut down. So I got off the freeway, ducked into a rest stop, and I sat there for about an hour until I started feeling better, relative term. And I get back on the road and I drive home, and quite honestly, I don't really remember driving home from that point, because my brain was so tired it probably just didn't even care, and I'd driven that route so many times that my brain probably just didn't register it. And I remember getting back to here and sitting outside in my car because I was too dizzy to walk upstairs. So I sat in my car with the air conditioning on. I love air conditioning. I have it going all the time. You know, it's set to the lowest possible setting and always on. So that made me feel a little bit better. It allowed me to make it up to my apartment, but I mean, I'm stumbling up the stairs. I probably looked like I was drunk. And I make it in, and I get in and I lay down on my bed, and that was it. Cut to black, nothing for 14, 15 hours. I wake up the next day and I don't sleep. I really don't. I stay awake until my body can't stay awake, at which point I usually fall asleep for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, whatever the case may be, and then I wake up again. In fact, it's 8:20 right now. I've been up for about 30 minutes, and I went to bed at 6:30 this morning, so I've had about an hour and 20 minutes of sleep. So that's how my body allows me to rest, and there's not much I can do about that. So getting 14 hours of sleep, you'd be like, oh, that's awesome, you must have been so refreshed. No, because lying down hurts, sitting up hurts, walking hurts, talking hurts, breathing hurts sometimes. But my body was just, I was out of energy because I had French fries. That was it. The day before, I think I had like a can of energy drink because I was on the road. So as soon as I wake up, I have an overwhelming urge to vomit. So drag myself to the bathroom, at which point my legs are cramping because I'm out of energy. So I have to get up and deal with cramp, make it to my bathroom, throw up, and nothing really comes up because all I had were fries, and most of that had been absorbed by my body. So I stumble back to my bed, lay down, and as soon as I lay down, I feel my stomach start churning again. So about 10 minutes later, in excruciating pain, I prop myself up, go to the bathroom, dry heave, dry heave, dry heave. Stuff starts coming up, because the more you heave, the more you attempt to vomit, eventually you're going to pull up bile and anything that happens to be in your stomach. By the way, graphic here. I'm not going to show it, but so I do that, throw up some bile, come back, lay down. As soon as I lay down, back in the bathroom throwing up. At that point, I'm so tired that as soon as I'm in the bathroom, I literally just sat down on the floor. Sat down on the floor, put my back up against the wall, and every time I had to vomit for like the next 4 or 5 hours, I just lean forward, do what I need to do, lean back, and just kind of wait for it to pass. And it eventually passes enough for me to come back and lay down. And that became the routine for almost 3 days. And that is the longest my body has ever rebounded against me. And it was very scary because I wasn't sure how it was going to resolve itself, because I wasn't eating, because I was afraid I was going to throw up, plus I was too nauseous to eat, plus I didn't have the energy to make something. You know, I resorted to just eating bread for a few days. I love bread. I love toast. It's super easy. I actually keep a toaster in my living room. Well, not that it's hard. Like 2 feet that way is the kitchen, because it's a shitty apartment. And that's all I have for a few days. Eventually I start eating other stuff. I made some ramen, and you know, I normally eat that dry, but I actually made it into real ramen with broth and everything. And it took about a week before I was finally able to keep food down and kind of get back into doing things. But of course, you know, my body just doesn't like it. And it's getting worse. Like the 30 minutes I've been sitting here, my whole left side has gone completely numb. Partially to do with this herniated disc in my neck, a lot to do with the fact that my body is running on. Right now, I'm trying to remember what I had yesterday. I had a hot dog. So I'm basically out of energy. I have no desire to eat anything today. I'm about to go work out. And for me, a workout is like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, as long as I can until I physically can't do it anymore. And I don't use weights. I use a resistance band because I'm not strong enough to lift weights anymore. I know, right? 6'4", 225 pounds. Looks like I have muscles, but I don't. Those are fake. Those are Photoshop. And yeah, so. But that's the story of how my symptoms are progressing, and my worst episode since, well, becoming fully disabled, as well as my catalyst to try to become physically active again. But we'll keep up on that, and I'll let you know how that's been going. So sorry if it got a little rambly there. When I don't sleep for days at a time, my brain gets a little drifty, and I'm sure I've wandered off the path of intelligent speech. But if you like these style videos, give me a thumbs up, and I'll continue to make those. Leave me any comments you'd like if you want to know more about conditions and things like that. Tomorrow, I will talk to you guys. Well, tomorrow's the 4th, so I probably won't make a video tomorrow. But the next video will be about some of the physical problems I currently have. And that's going to have to be 2 parts, because I filmed it at 3 o'clock this morning when I couldn't sleep, and it was 41 minutes long. So I'll condense it a little more, and then I'll squish it together, and then I'll eat it like a sandwich. But yeah, so those will be coming, as well as eventually mental issues. So subscribe, watch a video, hand gestures, and I don't know why I looked over there. I'll talk to you later.